Hello everyone, welcome to Lavender TV. These are new channels here, so if you're new, consider subscribing, commenting, also liking our video so that we can keep on sharing more information. Remember, this is where we talk about life matters, life issues. This is where I bring topic to engage with you. You can also comment and also bring up issues that can help people's life. This is where we engage in godly discussion. And today I have a very important topic, and I'm going to talk about spiritual gifts, spiritual battles when you have a spiritual gift. You know, most of the time I'll start with an example, a small example. You know, most of the times you find that when you have a gift within yourself, you encounter so many battles along your way. But so many people don't realize that, you know, when you have a gift, you know, before this gift explode, it is very hard for you to realize it, because in some way God's tried to talk you in different ways, different forms. And one of the things that have always make human beings confused is because we are not obedient. And another point, not only being obedient, is because we don't understand the spirituality. Because for someone to live in the spiritual world and the spiritual realm, and also to connect with the physical realm, there are two very difficult things. And therefore, there are some things that you need to understand when you have a spiritual gift, be it a prophetic ministry, be it apostolic ministry, be it a musical ministry. There are so many, there are number them. There are so many gifts in the line of Christ. But you'll find that mostly the demons don't like you to ascend to that level. You encounter so many battles without yourself realizing that these are demonic battles to engulf me or to block me from getting to the higher point. And this is where so many of us have failed, because we have so many lying talents, we have so many lying gifts, we have so many lying prophets, we have so many lying preachers, we have so many lying apostles, and what have you, name them. If you don't realize yourself and you don't understand what God made you to do, to have within yourself, because you find most of the time when you have a prophetic gift, some of them will even interrupt with your career, because what happens, God sees so many years. In fact, I told you another time that God will see from your end time back. So always God has a plan for your life. And if you know you not be in a position to realize yourself as early as now, as early as possible, you encounter so many spiritual battles, and sometimes you tell yourself this is just a normal life, you know, you will not be in a position to realize it. Therefore, I have come here to maybe tackle one of two things that maybe will make you to understand the battles you've been having in your life. Maybe it is because you have a spiritual gift, and every time you have a spiritual gift, you have to encounter more battles than the other people. You have to encounter. Remember, even the trees with the most sweetest fruits faces the most attacks from insects, from birds, from whoever, you know, because each and every time people, insects and what have you, want to get, according to how the human or the living organism were created, they go towards where the productivity is. Therefore, whenever you encounter so many battles in your life, you have first of all to cool yourself, reconcile with yourself, call a meeting with yourself, and ask yourself what God wants you, or which is the phase that God wants me to face. Because most of the time you encounter so many, you'll be pushed to corners whereby even if you try to understand yourself, you always find yourself in a mixed up position, you always find yourself in a confusion state. And therefore I'm talking to you there. Maybe you're there, you are a prophet, a growing prophet. You're there, you are a growing musician, you are becoming musician, you're there, name it. All the areas that God wants you to take his gospel. Because what the devil do is he works with schemes. And always the devil is always aware of the things, or he always see the gifts that are in you. And he can be able to block those gifts, and not specifically blocking, because the devil has no power to block the gifts, but he has the power to delay the gift. By the time the God had set for those gifts to manifest, or for those gifts to start helping his people, devil will block that period, or he will delay the period, so that you can receive the gifts as late as he wishes, and with that you will not be able to perfect, or you will not be able to help God's people as it was planned. So it is high time. If you realize you are encountering so many battles, what are you supposed to do? It is the high time you rise up. Remember, when you realize you have a spiritual gift, you have to pick, or you have to get to another spiritual level. And by getting to another spiritual level, you're not just going to go to those levels just like that. Follow the Bible, the biblical contents, and later I'm going to come here with spiritual scriptures to back up these, so that at least I can help, or I can be able to key in one or two people who has this gift, and they are being fought for. Because if you're not going to stand firm enough, if you're not going to stand strong enough, because these not just the same battles as you just found fights in people's little time. Later on, I'm going to give you the spiritual summoning of my life before I came to be how I am right now. Because each and every person, or each and every gift that God releases has a cost. You have to pay the cost before you get that gift. And therefore, I'm talking to you there who is an upcoming prophet, who is an upcoming musician, who is an upcoming apostle, who is an upcoming in whichever field, in whatever gift God have gifted you in. You have first of all to understand the aspects of sacrificing. And as sacrificing, I mean by fasting, I mean by physical sacrificing. You get to someone a cover, you look for a cover, you look for someone who is a good priest who can cover you up. And when you make the sacrifice in his church, or in the wherever altar is there, in his altar, he can be able to cover you up. Because in the spiritual realm we have levels, and we have you have certain levels, and you have, before you are set to a certain level, you encounter certain demonic powers. And if you're not sharp enough to realize these, or you're not sharp enough to understand how things work, you find your life so complicated. Because at the same time God wants you to do this, but at the same time the demonic world want to block it. They don't want you to reach that. And mostly what the demonic world will do, they will use your friends, they will use your family members, they will use your wives and husbands if you have them. They will use the surrounding circle within you to block you from reaching what God had given you, that gift that God released in you. Remember, each and every individual, before you were created, and before God released your spirit to this world, he had an assignment. And that's the reason as to why we always told that at the end time, each and every person will have to case before God, because you are given a certain assignment. And some of you, it's only that you cannot get back to that point. There are those negotiations that we did with your maker. That when I get to the world, when you give me that chance to be in the world, I will be able to change this and this. And there will come that time when God will be asking you, I give you an assignment. Did you accomplish what I gave you? Did you accomplish the mission that I sent you to? And there is a high time that the demons don't want you to accomplish this, because what demons don't want is God's people to give salvation to his people. And they will always try as much as possible to block this, so that as when the judgment time comes, remember, at the end of it all, yes, the dark world will have the part, I mean that space to ruin the God's people. But at the end of it all, there will be the God will come, and now at that time, the God will judge the devil and his people. So don't be the counterfeit. When God will judging the world, don't be there. At least let me just give you hints, or let me give you points that will enable you at least to escape this. So first of all, I told you, you have to be a sacrificial person. You have to make as many sacrifices as possible. Refer to Leviticus, refer to Deuteronomy, refer to Numbers, and you learn about making sacrifices. And also, open your heart, open your mind, open your spiritual eye, so that God will have a chance to talk with you. Remember, God cannot force to human being. He doesn't force himself to human being. But when you open the door, remember, there is a Bible verses where, I think in the Revelation, it says, when you knock, at that time when you knock the door, when I knock the door and you open, then I will enter. I will come into salvation, and I come into a house, and I will dine with you. I will do things that even people will start realizing that I'm with you. Therefore, this is a lifetime. This is the last point that I want to point this out. Praise. Another things, you have to be prayerful. You have to up your game on a spiritual and on your praying grounds. Therefore, these are just some of the tips that I'm giving right now, so that at least if you have that gift, I'll come with part 2 of this, and I know at least I will be able to up 1 or 2 people here, so that there are so many people who are encountering spiritual battles and they don't understand what is going on. And the reason is because you have a spiritual gift within you, and the devil is fighting you, and the devil is scheming you, so that he can bring you down, and so that you cannot achieve what God had planned for you. Therefore, please consider subscribing, liking, and also commenting in our videos, so that we can take this gospel as far as we can. Thank you very much, and God bless you.